we've now got 7.1 million people waiting for medical treatment of some kind. It is a truly staggering and I think very worrying figure.
In a shocking turn of events, Labour leader Keir Starmer finds himself at the centre of a legal firestorm after Nigel Farage made a bombshell revelation.
There's some extraordinary celebratory scenes outside Britain's prisons where in some cases serious career criminals were released. And this to make way for, yes, rioters, but equally those who've said unpleasant things on Facebook and elsewhere on social media. There is a growing feeling of anger in this country that we are living through two-tier policing and a two-tier justice system.
The former UKIP leader exposed startling details that have now led to a major lawsuit against Starmer.
Angry to be put in a position of having to release people who should be in prison because the last government broke the prison system.
The accusations, shrouded in mystery, have sent ripples through the political world, leaving everyone wondering what could Farage have uncovered that would push Starmer into such a perilous legal battle. This unexpected clash between two political titans has just taken a dramatic and unexpected twist.
If Labour needed the Liberal Democrats, would PR be the price that Labour would have to pay? And this is a funny one because the Labour conference last year actually voted for a form of proportional representation. But it's on the EU nationals that most of the headlines have been made. And this morning, Sir Keir Starmer was on LBC Radio, and this is what he had to say.
If someone has been here, say, 10, 20, 30 years, contributing to this economy, part of our community, they ought to be able to vote. Let me bring it alive. I've obviously knocked on a lot of doors in the last few years, and you go to doors sometimes in general election, and you're met with someone who says, look, I'm an EU citizen, I've been living here for 30 years, I'm married to a Brit, my kids were raised and brought up here, they're now working in the UK, I'm even working in lots of community projects, etc., but I can't vote. And I think that feels wrong and something ought to be done about it.
The revelation, which Farage has strategically released to the public, alleges that Starmer has been involved in actions that are not only controversial, but potentially damaging to his political career. Although the exact details of the claims remain speculative, the gravity of the situation has escalated to the point of legal action.
Labour are going to ban smoking in public places like beer gardens and pubs. They're obviously determined to close the last of the British pubs down. But it's all because we're going to be smoke-free by 2030. Really? Do you reckon we'll be drugs-free as well by 2030? It's all nonsense. What they're doing is they're taking, through banning where we can smoke, through putting taxes up on cigarettes, they're turning illegal activity and putting it into the hands of criminal gangs. You don't believe me? Look at Australia, where cigarettes are 35 quid a packet. The big drug dealers don't bother with cocaine anymore. They just sell illegal cigarettes. It's led to gang warfare and 97 firebombings in Melbourne in the last 2 years.
With Starmer now facing a lawsuit that could have significant consequences for his future. Farage, never one to shy away from confrontation or controversy, delivered this news with the kind of sensationalism and timing that only adds to the intrigue. It's clear he's intent on making a lasting impact.
The National Health Service is in a very serious crisis. Now, there are some voices that say, but Nigel, if you look at Sweden, you look at Germany, you look at France, they too have got problems with their health provision. Well, yes, that's true. However, none of them have increased the amount of money they're putting into the health service at the rate we have over the last few years for what appears to be a poor delivery.
And this lawsuit is his latest move in the ongoing political chess game that has defined much of his career. Starmer, known for his measured approach and calm demeanour, now finds himself in a highly precarious position. His political career, built on a reputation for integrity and strong legal acumen from his time as Director of Public Prosecutions, is facing perhaps its toughest challenge yet.
So the Prime Minister tonight reacting to what has happened over the course of the last 48 hours. His conclusion, very simple, it's all the far right. as if they're causing all of the problems. No, the far right are a reaction to fear, to discomfort, to unease that is out there shared by tens of millions of people. Let me be clear. I don't support street violence. I don't support thuggery in any way at all. But I'm worried, not just about the events in Southport, but about societal decline that is happening in our country. Law and order, folks, on our streets is breaking down. This Prime Minister hasn't got an earthly clue how to deal with it. We need to start getting tough. We need to use stop and search, regardless of the colour of the skin of anyone that gets stopped. We need tougher prison sentences for anybody carrying a knife. We need folks to get real. Because I tell you what, what you've seen on the streets of Hartlepool, of London, of Southport is nothing to what could happen over the course of the next few weeks. Let's have proper law and order. But Mr. Starmer, just to blame a few far-right thugs to say that's the root of our problems doesn't work.
As the lawsuit progresses, the spotlight is now squarely on Starmer's next move. Will he defend himself fiercely, or will these revelations bring about a stunning downfall? In the backdrop of this unfolding legal drama, the political landscape in the UK has become even more polarised. Farage's supporters are celebrating the action, viewing it as another step in challenging the establishment.
So what's to be done? What is the approach of our two main parties to this? Well, it's fascinating because Wes Streeting, who I think is cutting quite a dash in terms of being a spokesman on behalf of the Labour Party for Health, he's putting what seems to me to be some quite fresh thinking for the Labour Party. You always think of the Labour Party as believing in the state, believing in the ability of the state through taxpayer money to deliver. But he's suggesting, with Keir Starmer's support, that actually what a Labour government would do is to use the private sector, which it sees as being underutilised, and use that to farm people out, to get procedures done, to try to bring that waiting list down. Yet, with the Conservative Party, what's their view on private health? Well, have a look at this quick clip of Prime Minister Rishi Sunak yesterday when he was asked whether he himself has private healthcare provision.
Were you registered with a private GP, and are you still?
Yeah, but my dad was a doctor. I grew up in an NHS family.
Wasn't my question. It's really straightforward. Were you registered with a private GP?
I mean, as a general policy, I wouldn't ever talk about me or my family's healthcare situation. But again, it's not really relevant to this. What's relevant is the difference I can make to the country.
Why not just tell the truth? I mean, what's the problem with it? Why not just say, yeah, actually, do you know what? My family does have private health cover, and by doing that, we're relieving some of the burden off the National Health Service. No, he can't bring himself to do it. My debate this evening in the first part of this programme is, are Labour right to see the private sector as being a way of helping to cut these waiting lists? Let me know what you think. Farage at gbnews.uk. I actually think they've got this right.
On the other side, Labour Party members and Starmer's allies are standing firmly behind their leader, dismissing the claims as politically motivated attacks designed to derail Starmer's growing momentum. As details continue to emerge, the public is left to speculate on what exactly Farage has uncovered and how it could impact Starmer's future.
Well, it was heavily trailed in yesterday's Sunday newspapers that a Labour government would extend full voting rights to EU nationals living in the country and extend the franchise to 16 and 17-year-olds. And this, of course, in some quarters has led to a hell of a row. There's also been an ongoing debate about proportional representation. Well, it feels wrong to Sir Keir Starmer, but not to most of us. After all, the qualification to vote in a national election is to be a national of that country. And across the rest of Europe, you know, in France and Germany and Portugal and Spain, they don't allow foreign nationals to vote in their general elections. And whilst it's true, Sir Keir, that some EU nationals have been here for 30 years, there are many others who've been here for a very short period of time. Do you want them to have the vote?
Is this revelation part of a deeper conspiracy, or are we witnessing a genuine political scandal unfolding in real time? The tension surrounding this legal clash has electrified the media, with pundits dissecting every move and comment.